Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Welcome, welcome. Hi, everyone in the chat. Are we ready for this roundtable? All right. Let's see how far we get with Origins of Angels. I'm going to bring our beloved cast members in from the green room. Oh, hello, hello.
Hello.
I love the title, Nadia. You're going to make sure everyone knows this, right? You
100%.
sit in the clouds.
Yes, that would be Dennis would be Lemurian for keeps heading clouds.
Okay. All right. Dennis felt that he needed to look down from an angel's point of view today.
Well, there you go. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah. Rocco is running a little late. That's okay. Prior engagement. He's got to do what he's got to do. It's all right. Whenever he's ready, he'll let us know and come on in. All right, guys. We've only had a couple of days to really deep dive into this, and one of the things that I realized is most of the things that I found, well, I always went to the book of Enoch because that has a lot, but it's kind of a lot of opinions, mainly personal testimony, and then a whole lot of controversy.
Oh, yeah.
But that's okay. We're just here to expand our minds and think outside the box or inside the clouds with Dennis.
In the clouds.
Inside
right.
the firmament.
Yes. All right. So, once again, hello to everyone in the chat. I have not read it. I do see you. We'll just get started. I know if you guys have questions, we'll just try to keep note of them or remember them for Friday because we'll maybe discuss it. Depends on how far we get today. We may answer some anyway. We always pull cards, pendulum, rods, healing hands. We'll do whatever we got to do.
Already.
Spirit led. All right. So Nadia was so kind to send me some photographs. So we'll have visual aids as well.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's when I went vacation. I took some pictures.
Oh my.
Gotcha.
Are they? Hopefully, they're all G-rated.
Yes, I believe they are. Some of them you kind of have to stand on your head and understand what they look like, but that's okay. So one of the main things that I was running into is angels are so many different categories. Of course, we do have negative and positive. Yep. So do we want to start? How much do we know about the creator and what was going through his mind and thought process when he was creating what they looked like? Mm-hmm. And I kept running into we were told that we were created in the image of our creator. We're angels as well. Are there some similarities? That's a controversial topic. What do you guys think about that?
I believe, well, knowing that the seraphim and the cherubs are much different than the rest of the angels, I would say probably no to that question.
Right. Yeah, I was kind of leaning that way as well. Go ahead, Nadia.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, the Watchers were actually the first ones, weren't they? So do we start from the beginning or do we start from...
No, I don't think the Watchers were the first ones.
Wasn't Lucifer?
Lucifer was a cherub.
Oh, he was a cherub.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's let me pull out my other book here.
Oh no.
Oh no. We're gonna have to work.
It's a big book. Here comes the encyclopedia.
It's the book. The book.
The Book of Shadows.
The big books. I want to see how far we can get before I start reading everything backwards again.
And upside down.
Yeah. Enoch has always been my go-to because he really goes into detail about whether it's Nephilim, and that's later down the line. But right. So the origin and obviously we understand that the Creator created the angels first before mankind, as far as we understand, right?
Yes.
Now, here's
Well,
another question: how many? And does he continuously create angels all the time, or is there just a set number?
Are we
good
ready to ask
question.
questions too?
Of course, because that's the. I mean, we will obviously we're going to discuss it in our own opinion, but we're going to have to ask Spirit for some confirmation if Spirit agrees.
Okay. Um, since we are a fractal of God, are the angels also a fractal of God?
Good question. And with that, are we talking physical or spiritual? A spiritual mindset. Is that what we're asking, or just a physical fractal?
I would think spiritual,
Yeah.
not necessarily physical, since all the angels do not all look the same.
True.
Well, we all don't look the same either, Dennis.
Well, I know some of us look better than others, but
Sorry about that, Dennis.
I know.
Get mad. Don't hate.
It's
Don't be
just
a hater.
I'm not gonna hate.
Apologies, apologies. We all can't be as handsome as
Great
Dennis.
comeback.
All
You
right.
get 2 points for that one.
Uh, all right. So I'll ask Spirit, angels, a fractal of, okay, of our Creator. I got a card spitting out already. Maybe they will answer. All right. All right. A huge Ace of Pentacles. Yes, they are.
Yep, I'm getting
Because
that too.
they hold a piece or a fractal of the light of the Creator Himself.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Our independent. Okay, so thank you, Spirit. So now they also, with the baby page of cups, this is good. It's an exciting thing. They're excited, but they're kind of like worker bees for the Creator. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
If you
Yep.
put it in the sense of like a beehive, He gives the orders, they go out and do them. All right, and they're very happy to do this. So fractal of the Creator, yes, but very, very different as well. They're all different, and I think that's what we're going to get into. If you
Yeah.
want to call them, would you call them families of angels? Like if Archangel Michael is the leader of God's army, he takes care of like the warriors. Gabriel take care of the messengers.
Yes.
Raphael take care of all the healers. So, well, that's a
Uriel
positive.
takes care of all the wisdom.
And the light.
And yeah. So, what category would you put Metatron in?
Well, Metatron wasn't originally an angel.
Well, we're talking Enoch, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But was it a transition to an angel? Because in all of my, let's just put it from a tarot's perspective, Metatron is now considered an angel in tarot.
Right. Right. And I think he's considered the head of the archangels.
Mm-hmm.
Sandophon
Yes.
is, I believe, Ezekiel,
Okay.
who
Well,
was also taken up.
During Sodom and Gomorrah, those were the basic two angels that put their feet on the ground. So if you're saying they're Ezekiel and Enoch, their feet were already on earth before they became archangels.
Yeah, but they were translated up. They didn't die.
Well, it was Enoch and Elijah that didn't pass. They ascended.
Oh yeah, Elijah. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we have another visitor. Okay.
Well,
Sable.
Elijah
Not
came in
again
twice
today.
then.
Hey,
Yes, he
Thumb.
came in as John the Baptist also.
Right. Right.
I think that was a walk-in.
And as far as we understand, those are the only two, well, that we know, that ascended because they found God's favor. So, there's always controversy. Do humans, when we ascend, do we turn into angels? Well, you get your angel wings. I'm not buying that.
Okay, so
Well, it all depends on if the bell rings or not.
I'm always hearing bells. Anyway, that brings me to my second question, actually. Are you
Okay.
done with the cards on that one?
Yeah. I just pulled four, so it's a definite yes that they are fractals of the creator.
Do humans have DNA genes to become angels? Or some humans?
I just saw the base card on that last question. It was the creator card. All right. Stable.
Rephrase. Do some.
You're going to be a thorn in my side today, aren't you, boy? All right. So possess DNA.
I get not all. At first, I got rephrased it when I said, "Do all humans
Not
have
all.
the DNA?" And it told me to rephrase, so I rephrased it to "Do some," and I got a yes.
Okay.
Does Sable think he's a Himalayan mountain goat?
He got a new collar and it's driving him crazy, and he's begging me to take it off. But he's also nosy and thinks he can read tarot.
Well, maybe he can.
Well, this is interesting.
He can't take the collar off. He's got too many thumbs.
You cannot stay with me. I'm going to have to call the kids to come and get you. Okay. So, yes, some do. I agree with Dennis. It's only some. So, it is given. This is a gift given of DNA. Some can. So, okay. Somebody come get the kitty. All right. I won't be able to think and concentrate. All right. So, apparently,
next we'll see Lee on her lap.
This is a hidden thing, though. We don't know who. So if it's only, but when it happens very quickly. This is also something that was fought over in the beginning. I think this could be about when some fell. Maybe they weren't allowed to. This is about fighting over who gets DNA and who doesn't. Interesting.
Wow.
It is chosen, okay, by the creator. It's interesting. All right. This is a positive negative thing with the sun card. This is an earned thing. And then this one, the ones that chose to walk away, when we talk about the angels that fell, I wonder if they're cursed. I'm trying to figure out how to word that. Okay, so when it comes to humans having DNA to become angels, I get yes. And when do angels possess a DNA to become walk-ins as humans, I get a yes as well, but only certain people. Because I asked both questions.
Okay.
But the intermingling and fighting, those that walked and chose not, they fell and went against the creator. I'm curious to know if it's a curse. It's not something they want to do.
That they don't want to be an angel, you mean?
They don't want to be, if angels chose to be human. I reversed it. So I asked both things. Can humans become angels, and can angels become humans?
And
That's
angels don't want to be human. Do you blame them?
No. Yeah, they're up there with Dennis looking down going, I don't think so.
They're like, look at those people. Why do you want to do that?
Ah. Well, the whole controversy is the reason that Lucifer, disobeyed God and got a third of the angels to fall is because he was pretty much ticked off that they were going to have to serve mankind. And he thought he was too pretty and good for that, apparently. Now, where does the division start when he got it in his little brain that he could overthrow the creator? Because that's another part of it. Not just I'm not serving those mongrels, but now I'm going to dethrone you. Because we were told that too. Or at least I was.
Well, I'm going to say I did pretty good amount of prayer today and ask God for mercy for our questions and answering.
Yeah.
Because I do not want anybody to think we're blasphemous, but we are asking questions and thinking. So one of my thought patterns that I was going through was, if we're doing role play, some people do role play good, some people do role play bad, but it's to
Mhm.
see good and evil.
Yes.
And Lucifer was the prettiest one, the
Yeah.
smartest one, the talented one. Now, if he was a fractal of God, where did pride come in?
Okay,
question.
so wouldn't we call that a human emotion? Well, it's an emotion, period.
It's emotion. Yeah.
Yeah, but to me, I'm always like, okay, let's do this contract, and let's
Yeah.
say who's going to follow good, who's going to follow bad, and at the end, we all decide, what's going to happen. But I don't understand where a flaw came if source is flawless. That's where I was going through.
And the only thing that I can come up with that is trying to figure out, these angels still, do they have the same emotions that we do? If they're fractals of the creator, then they would have all the emotions, but the creator also gave them free will of choice.
True.
But I agree. Why? This is perfection of where you come from. Where's the pride? Why?
Pride and jealousy. Where?
Well, you remember that when in the beginning, when Creator created man, He breathed life into man, and that breath was also part of His essence, His emotions. So yes, He could be jealous. He could be all those things that we see in the on the negative side of humanity, I think.
So can we ask? Well, here's the question: angels, can they get angry? Well, obviously, jealousy.
Well, if you're gonna fight like Michael fights, yeah, you're gonna get angry.
Well, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want to cross him from a 10-foot pole, but I wonder, do they get mad at us? Because
I think they probably get disappointed. I don't think they get mad.
Well, any of the discussions that I've had with Mr. Wings behind me is he sees and feels disappointment, concern and worry, and frustration sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, because there are so many times he's probably face palming, but he does this a lot. Like,
well, I don't know if he does a face palm because I don't know if he has hands, but
yeah, like what are you doing? Hi, little man.
Speaking of hands.
Hi.
There's some sticky hands.
Yeah, sticky hands. He just had lunch. Say hi.
Cool. Hi.
And
he walks in here and he goes, "Where's Rocco?" I'm like, "What? Rocco's busy. He'll be in later. Say hi, Dennis. Okay." And everyone in the chat room, Little Man says hi. Little Man's gonna go take a nap. All right. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the information. Mommy went outside. That's all I know. Okay. All right. Now, anyway, so yeah, Wings gets frustrated. There are certain emotions. Now, he obviously is I have felt him get flustered, but not with me. Like, if there is a spiritual attack, he does this protective thing. It's not his job to fight in war. It's his job to protect and guard, if that makes sense. And advise.
Okay, so is it his frustration because he's probably been through all the evolutions of humanity? And are we going downward instead of upward?
Well,
we're not in a place where we need to be, yeah.
He's been with me for every lifetime that I've walked.
Oh, is that awesome?
And that he was only created for me. Uniquely created because we have almost the same personality. Scary thought. But
I've heard of
yeah. So yeah, Dennis, it's okay. He's gonna fall off a cloud. What?
Don't fall off.
Oh no. But yeah, he absolutely he has the ability to have sarcasm and humor and joy and those kind of things.
Mhm.
So, and you know how we will playfully throw insults, or as Rocco says, playing poo. But it's a funny, humorous to bring you laughter and raise your frequency. Angels can do it too.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Just last night, John, I go, what wings?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I get a lot of this too.
I'm still waiting for the slap in the back of the head.
Yeah, well, that's never happened, but he'll do a nudge, like try to get my attention. And if I am not answering him right away, he's like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you the answer and you're not listening to me. All right. So back to free will of the angels. Obviously, Lucifer, they all had free will. So where did the campaign start? How was it the third of everything's a third in the Bible everywhere you go, beginning to end?
No.
So
In the middle.
where did the campaign start? I don't want to serve mankind. Do we have an origin of when he started going around and trying to wheel and deal the other angels out of their positions and not serving mankind or the creator? Do we know when that happened? They're beyond space and time, so it's not like there's a date written on the calendar.
Right.
But emotionally and spiritually, what pushed him over the edge with his jealousy? And was there a certain spiritual event that happened? Could he see how mankind was going to go through life? Could he see the beginning and the end and what he was going to have to serve? And he's like, I'm not doing that. I'm just curious. We can ask. How would you put it? There's silence.
I don't know if there's any good yes or no answer to that one.
Yeah.
Or question. So that would have to come from you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just curious to know what was the final straw for him. Like, I'm not doing it. And I wonder if the creator tried to bargain with him.
Well, maybe the Garden of Eden was so beautiful that he said, why isn't it for us?
It's mine.
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 What are the penguins?
But so you're telling me where they were at wasn't gorgeous too? See, that's weird to me. How could you look at the Garden of Eden? It's supposed to be kind of almost parallel at the time, wasn't it? They would be in the same kind of situation.
Well, how can you convince other angels, join my side because we can overtake it? I mean, how?
Yeah.
They don't have 17 pieces of silver.
I can't buy that, but what I can buy is, sure, you want to play the game? You want to be better than me? Go ahead. Get your group of people, try to convince the humans to take my side, and we'll see. It's almost like a chess game and where the pawns. We'll either go on this side or we'll go on that side. I mean, that's the only thing I can't see if you have everything and you have the glory of the source and that you want to come down here.
Yeah, if you have, you're
kind of
literally
like what's being played out now, where one side is playing checkers and the other side is playing 5D chess.
Mm-hmm. But here's the weird thing: now the enemy knows the beginning to the end. They know they're going to lose.
Well, that's why I think it's a contract.
Pride and ego, they still keep going, even though you know the end game. I guess they don't have it in them to throw in the towel, so to speak. Like, how do you look at somebody and say, you're going to get your butt kicked, right?
Well, they have a couple of them, like, keep reading the fine print. There's got to be a loophole somewhere. Just keep reading the fine print.
Well, ultimately, I think their goal is just to stick around long enough, regardless of who wins, so they can take as many of us down with them.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, you guys talk. I'm going to pull cards on to see the mindset, if Spirit will tell me the mindset or if there was a turning point with Lucifer and how that went. I don't know. Spirit knows my intentions, so we'll see.
Oh, and you probably have to find out what his original task was.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right here.
Okay. Well, Spirit did answer it. So, in his enlightened pretty beauty, this guard represented him before, wanted to get, it's interesting that this is number 3, make his own collection, gather his own people, or the angels, because he wanted to overthrow the creator and control humanity completely. Basically, I guess he wanted us to be his puppets, not serve us, but we work for him. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely, totally bind us and make us slaves. I'm just picturing the creator looking at him going, go ahead and try. It's not going to work.
So is that why a couple shows back we talked about the Garden of Eden and the Garden of Knowledge? There was the good, and then there was the bad garden.
Well, yeah, we discussed if there was a Garden of Lucifer. Of course, that would have come later after the fall, right? Now, when they fell,
happening in synchronous
parallel.
The
Garden of Eden,
supposedly on the same mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the rivers around. So we were talking about the Euphrates at that time.
Yeah, and didn't we come up with the answer that the Garden of Lucifer, the negative, has been destroyed and Eden has been moved?
Yeah.
Okay. Like down in Shambhala, Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, it moves around.
Okay. Yeah,
so
it's
it can
always
never
on.
be found.
Okay. All right. So what came first? The Watchers?
Chicken.
Actually, it is a chicken.
I would think it. I always voted chicken too, so yes. All right. So did the Watchers? I hate when Hollywood messes around with these stories. Remember that movie Noah, and they had the Watchers, the rock people? I kept scratching my head like, who came up with this?
The what?
They were rock people, the giant rock people, but they were called the Watchers. And in that movie, during the flood, if they would help humanity, they had the opportunity to redeem themselves from falling. And I went, I didn't think that they are entitled to redemption. That once you fell, you fell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There is no coming back. In fact, I think Enoch told them that or relayed that message back to them because they wanted to be back to where they were. And God said no.
Okay, but you also have to understand the difference from the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament, God was strict. Let's flood.
Yes.
Burn Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's do all this. But in the New Testament, it became love and light and forgiveness. So does also God show mercy to the Watchers then?
It's interesting because we know that, we're told that Yeshua came to make things new again. So those that follow the old Torah and the laws of Leviticus and things like that Jesus came and kind of overturned a lot of that stuff.
Right.
Because everything was about redemption. Now, just because we've heard that, okay, Jesus died on the cross and, he was betrayed, but are you going to tell me that Judas wouldn't have been forgiven? We were told that he took his life, but if he didn't, Jesus would have forgiven him. And then I heard that Jesus.
I'm thinking we're dealing with parallel times.
Yeah, that's just way out there. But anyway, there is a huge difference. It was fire and brimstone, Old Testament, and then New Testament's supposed to be about love, forgiveness, humanity.
Well, love covers all sins, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
so that's what Yeshua was preaching, was basically, if you love yourself enough and you treat others to do, those things that you would have them do unto you, and you do it to them, then it covers a multitude of sins.
You said that, and the first thing I thought of was kind of like he was preaching about karma.
Yeah,
It's in a way.
basically, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So if the creator is so loving, so we're saying that they cannot have redemption no matter what because they're worried it would happen again. I don't know. But it was the ones that fell and followed Lucifer kind of ended up having buyer's remorse, so to speak, once they realized it was his plan failed. Okay, so back to my question about the Watchers. Um, just the first chapter of Enoch talks about the Watchers, and the Watchers were terrified. Why? Terrified of the Creator or what was happening to them? Dennis, what did you end up getting? What did you study? What did you poke your nose into? Did you do any Enoch at all?
I keep poking my nose into things I shouldn't be poking my nose into.
I get you into trouble.
I was looking around and I came across Job 38:7, which is basically when angels were created. And that was before the earth was created or the universe was created.
Yeah.
So he created the angels first before he created anything else.
Okay, so even before the Earth, all
Yeah.
right, or
I got
anything, the
the stars
firmament.
were the angels and the sons of God. Rejoiced in and blessed God for his works, whereby he intimates that they neither did advise or any way assist him, nor dislike or censor any of his works, as Job presumed to do.
I wonder how many categories of angels there are, because I haven't found
There
it.
are, oh gosh, I had that whole list set
They
down.
have 3 hierarchies and 9 types.
There
That's
are
what,
3 spheres, 9
yeah,
angel types.
yeah. Yeah.
The
So
beginnings were the seraphim, the
Seraphim.
cherubim, and the ophanim, or
you're going from,
thrones.
you're going from closest to source to
Yes,
furthest.
yeah.
Okay.
And then from second sphere are the lordships, which are the dominions or leaders,
Yep.
virtues, who are the overseers of the universe, powers,
And
which are of the military type.
yeah.
Mhm.
And the third sphere is the archangels, the principalities, which influence the leaders and oversee humankind, and the regular guardian angels and other angels, messengers.
Yes, celestial messengers.
No,
So if Lucifer was the original head angel, hi Snyder, um, was there an angel that took his place as leadership, or was it just void?
You're talking about once Lucifer left?
Yeah, once he was removed, did someone take his position, or was that
I,
just
that's
So,
a good question. We ought to ask that one because I don't think it's written.
oh, the cherub, yeah. You're saying Lucifer was a cherub to begin with.
yeah? And it's funny how we we always picture like they're little fat babies with wings that sit on clouds and play the harp.
That was me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I
We're a
grew
fan.
up though. I don't know how to play the harp anymore. Well, apparently somebody has taken its place. His place. I got a yes on that. So
All right.
somebody, either he created another angel to take that spot, or he moved somebody up. About as far as I can go with it.
Okay, so okay. On the guardian angels, though, they call Uriel the messenger of light, Gabriel the messenger. Um, what is he? Just a messenger?
He's just
Gabriel?
the
No,
messengers.
Gabriel was the. Let me see if I've got
So I always thought they were actually next to.
the
Uh,
the might of God and a messenger.
Okay.
was
See, I
Gabriel.
always thought they were next to God.
I always thought they were too, but apparently they are not, because they're
I
in a hierarchy and they have to answer to the archangels have to answer to the dominions.
I got a definite yes that his position was filled
Filled.
again. Okay,
Yeah.
the full card. So they started over, and someone has that position.
I wonder how many cherubim there were, or is it just the one? Was it just Lucifer?
I'm gonna say no. Well, okay.
Multiples,
Yeah.
multiples.
Yeah. So Yeshua is not an angel, but is he the one in charge of these serums,
I'm
cherubs?
getting. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm getting there's not there's only one cherubim.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
probably a hierarchy, Dennis.
Let me rephrase it.
You have like probably apprentices
There's
for some reason.
several cherubim next to God.
Dude, I can't do my job.
I'm getting a no. I'm getting there's only one cherub.
Okay, Dennis, can you ask it this way? Can you ask it there is one representative and then there are others below that one?
Like a ranking system.
Yes. Well, I guess I could tell the live chat how I come up
Okay.
with.
Yes.
Jen, should I tell them how I come up with my answers?
Yes,
Because
Schneider.
Schneider's not letting me do what I'm doing. All right.
He's like, we're not talking about this today.
No, he doesn't want me to use my hands.
No, unless
All
it's to pet him. That's it.
I
That's
didn't
it.
think you were Italian.
This is how I ask.
Hey.
Hey, I forgot about it. Yeah. Not only do I use my hands as healing, but I also use my hands as a pendulum. So that's how I come up with my answer.
Was that you did instead of hanging your hand like that in a
I
steady
could
place,
hypnotize
kind
you.
of like this?
No,
Basically,
actually,
you feel energy.
vibrations.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and every time I try to check an answer, Schneider's like, "No, my head's right here, Mom." So
And according to Islam, I
yes,
believe angels are
yes.
created by light.
Light beings.
All angels created flawless, but can become flawed. Free will also given to angels.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Angels are immortal.
Well, they're light beings, but if needed or desired by the Creator, they can take the form of a physical body as well.
Right.
So depends on
And
what.
and well, shape shifting, I guess, is what you would call that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but they can move back into being an angel, as long as as long as they haven't done anything
Mm-hmm.
nefarious.
I don't know. I don't know if it's also in the Christian or Catholic religion, but Muslims always say you have two angels, good and bad, and they
Mm-hmm.
take notes of what you've been choosing to do in your life.
Well, you got
With the Akashic records.
the conscience in the Christian
Jiminy
belief,
Cricket. Yeah.
where you got not necessarily Jiminy Cricket. You got like the good angel on the left and on the right, and on the left is Satan or the bad angel.
With
That's
temptation.
Well, they have the good, but each person after the age of, I believe it was 10, now they have their angels to write what is good and bad. And I remember when my son turned 10, and oh my God, did he drive me nuts? I would say, do you need me to get more pencils for the bad angels?
Whoa. Whoa.
Well,
Yeah,
it helped a
everything is
little.
written down. Everything is recorded. And whether it's good or bad, it is recorded and written.
Hmm.
So we have to have great intention to make sure that the good books are filled out, not the bad ones.
Not the bad books. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and I'm hoping that they're not using an eraser in the good books, going, okay, you just lost that one. All right, erase it out of there.
Little bribery. Here you go.
Yeah.
So now here's another question, and I think DHP also pointed that out in the live chat. Was now I was studying the book of Enoch, and
Yeah.
also you have the John, and
Uh-huh.
also you have I can't Ezekiel.
Mhm.
Now they all talk about the stories of the angels,
Yes.
but who was the one? Did John go up to see it? Did
Well, Revelation,
Enoch to see it in
The-
Revelation? Exactly. Didn't they
John.
also see the angels?
It was John the Revelator, but it was the revelation of Yeshua himself and was showing John. John had to record it. But
Okay.
now, my
I'll
perspective
be right
depends on how
back.
you read it. Was he taking up into heaven and then he sat and recorded it all?
Hmm.
I don't think that he carried around a pencil and paper. I think it was downloaded and then later he had to,
He had a scribe to scribe it.
Yeah.
But also Enoch also went. Did he also go up and see the angels?
Yeah, it's to my understanding that he was taken to a certain area. I always thought he was taken back to Eden so he could write down everything that he saw because he was protected there. And then after he was done, he ascended. That's how I was putting the math together, but it depends on how you interpret it, I guess. But when Enoch had to do that, he was taken somewhere. Now I have to remember where it was, but the way I understood it, it sounded like Eden.
Okay.
And he stayed there until everything was recorded.
So that was also downloaded?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, can you imagine seeing that? I mean, well, I guess I could just think about what we do and then put it on steroids. Some of the things that we see. So,
Well, I mean, they said, I think in the entire Bible, angels were written 200 times.
mhm.
I think 74 times the angel said, "Do not be afraid." Well, yeah.
Yeah, 365 times in the canonized version it says do not fear.
Yeah.
And it's like one for, I think it's 365. It was on because it worked out to like one for every day of the year. It was funny. You shouldn't fear
Right,
any day.
Yeah.
But it was interesting in the first part of Enoch because when he was talking about Elohim, and then you talk about fear, the Watchers were in great fear as well. So how long? Like it's hard to put a time frame around it. How long were the Watchers around? And are they coming back? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Are they considered giants? Could they?
Well,
be?
their kids were giants.
Yeah, their kids were the Nephilim.
Which I cannot imagine a human, if they are the size of us, giving birth to a giant.
I know. I cannot wrap my brain around that. I'm like, are you kidding me? I've had 4 kids. I don't think so. I mean, I had giant babies, but not like that.
I just can't tear them apart. But
or did they have normal sized babies and then it was like when puberty hit, they became giants? That kind of thing.
well,
I don't know.
I believe in the past humans were giant to begin with.
That we've gotten a lot smaller.
Yes.
Honey, I shrunk the kids.
Okay, you got your 2 points. Yeah.
Oh,
I believe.
I haven't gotten smaller. I'm still huge. I'm a giant. Okay.
But okay, so if you say, and I know you don't believe that, Dennis, but if you say Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot's wife was that one on the mountain, and that they're that huge, you know,
9 foot
yeah. So they could
possible.
have been, yeah. So if that was the case, the Nephilim should have been about the same size as they were.
Okay. Well, the angels, if we think about it, they're all different shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
The ones that fell, did they change their shape? Were they smaller, larger, same size? How did they appear to humans? I mean, if they lusted
Can
after women,
cannot angels
morph
shift into or morph into whatever size they want?
based on
When
their
you go,
intention.
well, going from angel to a human, so that humans are not afraid, they can shape or shift into a lower vibration, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they
Lower
could,
size.
yeah, probably size. I mean, didn't they have eyes on them? Didn't they have wings? I mean, they
Well,
did they
not
do
you. You
that after
see
they were
angels unaware here on Earth now, and they don't have wings or anything like that.
no. I'm just saying, when they became fallen angels, did they get all their gifts taken away from them?
Well, interesting, as a Christian, we
Yeah.
grew up believing that um, the 3 days before Jesus rose from the dead, that he was in hell stripping Lucifer and all the angels of their jewels and glory and beauty, and that's what he was doing. He grabbed the keys and controls the gates of hell now. Stripped everything of them. Sorry,
Just
that and I was scratching my head and I said, you mean all this time that they were still pretty little things in hell? That just, it doesn't register to me. Something's just not clicking right. I can
well,
understand Jesus going down there and getting the keys to hell. He now controls everything. But I don't know. I just can't, I cannot wrap my head around them still being pretty. But then again, maybe that's how, if they present themselves to human beings, that's how they can manipulate humankind.
well, I thought that women, you've seen them as gods. They must have been beautiful or handsome,
Yeah,
or
yeah. How do you, if you lusted after women, how are you going to? What do you just put on your charm and say, "Aren't you a pretty little thing? Want to go home with me?" I mean, how does that work?
They had
And
to have them bring their banjos along with them too.
okay, yeah. Did
the Georgia.
did were the women even consciously aware that they were?
See, that's what I heard. I heard they were aware, so they threw themselves off as gods or angels, and
Mm-hmm.
so that parents, fathers, gave their daughters thinking they were from God of angels.
Mm,
So they could have been beautiful or lit.
yeah. Well, one of the things that I've studied is the fallen ones were the ones that taught mankind how to make weapons and tools. And that's how we got that kind of knowledge. But would we have ever needed the weapons if we weren't told what they were for and how to use them?
Doubtful.
Were they encouraging us to create war and chaos? I mean, it's not just like bending steel and making a hoe to grow vegetables in your garden. I mean, they were making swords and everything else.
Jen, can you pull cards?
Uh-huh.
Did they teach weapons just in case other angels were coming down to finish it off? They were teaching them to fight and against the good angels,
Yeah.
like a war army preparation.
Okay. Basically almost enslaving mankind to help fight their war.
Their war, yes.
Yeah.
And I have another question for you.
She might have an answer.
Absolutely. That was their
You're
wish.
gonna love this one though.
That's a wish because they could get victory and then become the rulers. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It was their desire. Teach humans how to use weapons and then create an army out of them.
All right,
Okay.
Dennis.
What are we gonna love, Dennis?
Okay. Knowing that reptilians can shapeshift, are some of the lower forms of angels actually beings from another planet?
Draconian, the Draco.
Yes.
Wait,
Okay.
repeat that, Dennis.
Are the lower forms of angels that are like your messengers, your spirit guides, stuff like that, are they beings from another planet since they can shapeshift, like the reptilians, for instance?
Okay. Where the Draconians come, are they from a different galaxy than ours?
I believe they are. Yes.
Zeta Reticuli 1 and Zeta Reticuli
Yeah, but
2.
they're not in our galaxy or not in our.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay.
Okay.
I think they're of another hierarchy of angels, a different group.
Does that mean that every galaxy has its own hierarchy?
Okay.
Well, that would be interesting.
All right. So you are correct. First, you have the Ace of Wands, but you said lower. That's a baby page. That just tells me lower ability in the hierarchy,
Yeah.
but still strong. And they still. This is why they keep coming down here. They're still out for the same agenda against mankind or humankind, I should say. So absolutely.
Well, that's their intent, but I don't know if they're still able to do that. I think the other beings that are out there right now surrounding Earth or surrounding this particular solar system are keeping that from
Yeah.
happening.
No longer. That is no longer happening.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're gone. And this was divinely. I mean, you have to admit, well, I do personally, that the creator is the one that divinely told humankind, the good guys, the Galactic Federation, whatever you want, the councils up there, this needs to be done and taken care of. Draco's time is up. So, yeah. And the final card on that was for all of humanity. So, yes.
That's actually for all of the galaxy, humanity of the galaxy.
Yes. Yes. And no matter what species you are, you don't have to be human. But
Yeah,
all.
I think we are the last of it all.
I do too. I strongly believe that as well. All right.
Well, another question I may have was the evolution of angels or the origin of angels. What would have been the purpose and when was it created to have archangels, the armies? Was it before Adam?
Yeah. So when was Michael? Why do you need a leader to a God's army? Who in the world are you battling at that point? Was that created after Lucifer fell?
Yeah, that's what I
Or
wanted.
if they were created at the same time, obviously the creator knew what was going to happen.
Or before.
Or before. So, all right, I'm going to ask the cards, was Michael and the army created after the fall?
No, before.
Before?
Because it was in the book of Enoch where it was the archangels that went up to God that told him what was going on when the watchers went down. So they were already created then, before the watchers went down.
Funny. I just find that funny. They had to go up and tell the creator, "Hey, did you hear what they're doing over there?" Like,
Yeah.
no.
my guess is that they didn't actually go up to the creator. I think they went up to the what was it, the
my guess it was on the Sabbath.
It's
And he had a day off.
day off, yeah.
Oh my goodness. It's
Yeah,
just
the
funny. I'm
Dominions.
just picturing these giant archangels going like tattletales. Hey, Dad, did you see what? Did you hear what they said? All right. So I asked the cards. I said, was Michael in the army created before the fall? Got a huge ace of cups. Absolutely.
Was pretty good.
Because he was about serving and giving justice out for the whole world. So that was prepped and planned for. So Michael did exist before the fall. I'm just picturing Lucifer going up and tapping Michael on the shoulder, going, "Hey, you want to join me?" And he goes, "You stupid."
Yes, snitches get stitches.
There you go. That's where all those phrases came from. Okay. Oh gosh, that's funny.
Where's Rocco?
Yeah, I know.
Oh, Lovey's heart. He got lost. All right.
I'm trying to save all the good ones for Jay, but I don't know. We'll see.
Let's look at some of our.
We're frozen.
Oh, hold on. Let's see if I can remember. It's been a while since I shared pictures. Which one do you want to start with, Nadia?
I'm here now.
The G-rated ones.
I promise they are.
Your what is this called? Live stream is buffering a lot, but when you see me look sideways, it's because I'm looking at YouTube itself. But it's every time you have some really good topic, it buffers.
Oh, okay.
Or is it just buffer when we start cutting up?
I think when the ideas shine, or the horns, or the horns.
I thought you were just looking out your window and spying on your neighbors, but you know.
No, it's buffering. Every time it buffers. Here we go.
So this is an illustration that Nadia found, and it's labeled "The Watchers," the angels who betrayed God, from the book of Enoch. Angels and Demons Explained. So is that, well, we know the book of Enoch. Is that Angels and Demons Explained? Is that just how they're describing Enoch, or is that a different reference book?
No, that's one of the Watchers. That's one of the angels who fell.
Just an artist depiction of
an artist depiction. I mean, there were no cameras then, I don't think.
Maybe. I don't know. Ask Dennis. He was around.
Even the serpent that was in the garden was a watcher. You know, he was a reptilian.
Here's me in the Garden of Eden going, "Oh wow, did you just see what fell?"
Here's me in the garden seeing Eve eat that apple. Scotty, where are you? Beam me up now.
I'm gonna tell. Get me out of here. All right. So this invokes a question about looking. If you look at the Watchers, if they were that big, that mighty, of course, did they come with swords, or just the knowledge of how to make them? Hello. Bye-bye.
I
love you.
Well, obviously, they would have to know how to make them.
Yeah, so I just wonder if they just came with the knowledge. They didn't actually leave heaven with weapons in their hand. I don't think that would be allowed.
Well, you said they taught them how to make weapons. Maybe that's why it's depicting that picture. But I'd make a Nephilim.
Wow. Interesting. You would, Nadia. All right. Let's see.
If the pen is mightier than the sword, maybe they should be flying around with pens instead of swords.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna share these. Here's one of the topic we should get into. This is just someone's depiction of what this one would look like, but this is supposed to be Azazel.
Mm-hmm.
So, wonder if he did look like that. Those are ram's horns, or is that kind of like? I wonder if they're trying to depict it as armor, or they actually grow out of him. That's interesting.
No, I think they continued to call him a ram, or well, isn't goat a goat because greatest of all time, but
the one on the left looks like a goat, and the one on the right looks like a lamb.
Yeah, it does.
Okay. All right. So, what is Azazel's role that we've studied? Because Lucifer gets the credit for everything. What is Azazel's role? What have we come up with other than being a troublemaker?
I had something on it. I'm trying to look for
I
it.
didn't realize we were supposed to study Azazel. I'm sorry, teacher.
Good and bad angels.
I only deal with the good.
You're going to get extra homework. I don't
Ooh,
I
let's
don't
go.
blame you. A lot of people want to stay with the divine, and I do not blame you at all. I just think that we have to understand the fall as well. And, what better way to understand your enemy than to study them?
Now, when you're always writing notes, you lose stuff like this.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I know there was some. Oh, I might be getting close. Hold on.
Nadia, you said this morning you added extra prayers in there. I did that too before tackling this subject
Yeah.
because I I know the creator knows my intention. I'm like, when we start talking about all this negative stuff, please understand we are not praising, giving glory to. We're just trying
Right.
to understand and ask questions. But just like a big old warm blanket, got a big hug, and it's like, I understand your heart. Don't worry about it. We understand that you have questions. So, yeah, many, many blessings and protective as we're studying this because very easily you can conjure up, then they just want to come in and attack. And I'm like, nope, nope, nope. All the divine. This is all about divinity here. So,
All right. So Azazel, they called it the goat, the demon in the desert.
okay.
Leviticus 16. 2 goats are supposed to be marked from Moses to Aaron. Put all the sins in the goat and release it into the desert. That's when Azazel comes and picks up the sins.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Interesting. Well, saying that, the other thing that came to my mind on the divine side later would be Yeshua, because Yeshua was we were told that he would come and collect all the sins. Is that the divine side? Opposite of Azazel.
Well,
Because
I
I
mean,
always find that there's opposites everywhere you look. So,
Well, free will. You're going to have opposites or duality in this universe.
well, if this, yeah, because this says Azazel, the angel who corrupted man, or if he came to collect sins. Well,
okay.
Yeshua came to take the sins and redeem man. So I just
Okay.
look at it as a mirror image kind of thing.
Here's what I'm getting a download. Like
Okay.
they were not monotheists, they were polytheists. So for them,
Oh,
giving a goat or a lamb to get rid of our sins was like he was a deity. He wasn't a fallen angel. He was to them a deity.
okay.
Does that
Like a
resonate?
demigod kind of thing
Yeah, yeah. There
with
were like
part human, part God
yeah.
in their eyes.
If I
Okay.
wanted fertility on my land, I would worship this maybe fallen angel, or because they didn't know they were fallen
Right.
angels. They knew they came from the sky, but they didn't know that they were evil or anti-God. So I think they considered them as deities and they worshiped them in that way.
Are you talking
Mm-hmm.
about the Watchers or are you talking about the Nephilim?
I'm talking about Azazel, well, each an individual one as them being a deity for worship. Can we check on that? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think they used it to get rid of their sins, like you said, Jesus. But this was pre New Testament.
How do you want to
Everyone
word
asks.
it?
Yeah.
Um, in the eyes of the humans, were they considered demigods?
Okay.
Were the Watchers, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, say that. Yes.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, I'm getting a download too. It's not that they were believing they were demigods; they were believing that they were gods.
Well, I didn't want to. We'll say that. I was trying to be nice.
I know.
Interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And it wasn't just one, there was multiples of them. Okay.
Yep.
Also believed that um, they had the power to get them out of being out of bondage, that they could help and save them from death.
Hmm.
Wow. Well, and the Watchers took full advantage of this manipulation. Yeah, highly much so. That's the judgment card. Absolutely took advantage of, I don't know if you would say the immaturity or the ignorance of humans.
I
It
mean,
was
you
almost
got
a trade-off. The Wheel of Fortune tells me with the download on that one is it was a trade-off. You worship me, give me your women, I'll teach you how to make weapons and help you survive. It's a
Yeah.
trade-off.
They were considered gods, but their children, the Nephilim, were considered demigods because they had
Mhm.
one god and one human,
yes,
being the
Wow.
mother.
yes. Um, it just came and
Now,
left.
not all women did this because some
Not all.
women set boundaries, did not get emotionally involved, had nothing to do with them at all.
Okay, so what
So,
is the timeline? And is it Adam and Eve got kicked out of Eden?
Do we have
I
to
don't.
keep bringing that up?
Well, it was your fault. You had to listen to
No,
Eve.
it was Eve.
yeah.
It's all Eve's fault. She took the
Yes,
first bite.
yes, dear. Yes,
So,
dear. I'll take the apple.
well, I got a download when this happened, when uh, lusting after women and then the Nephilim were created, the giants. Was that when the Dracos were created?
Well,
I don't
see,
know why.
that's. I'm going to piggyback off of your idea, Jen, because
Okay. Because I
if
simply asked, I said, is that when they came in? And I got an
it was,
ace and a star card.
but it wasn't just the Dracos. It
No,
wasn't
it
just.
wasn't. But that
It
was the
was also
one, the image that I got in my head. So, yeah.
about also Anunnakis, because
Yep.
if Adam and Eve created all these people on the planet, they were busy, first of all, but how many women were throwing themselves to these gods?
But I got the Anunnaki was around for the Garden of Eden. They've been around a lot longer.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, those were the women they were throwing. And so you got
Wow.
Anunnaki plus demigods to make Nephilims?
Hmm.
Or, I'm sorry, Anunnaki plus gods to create different types of Nephilims? Or
So we're
different.
different species. Wow.
Because I know.
What we've studied is that Anunnaki in the original were not good. What do they call the red-headed giants, right?
Yeah,
Didn't
those
they?
were Anunnakis were the red-headed giants, or the Nephilim were the
That's
red-headed?
what I understood.
Well, Anunnaki, they see, that's why I want to know which planet, because I think, okay, here's the blasphemous question. Each galaxy, do they have their own source, their own universe? But the Anunnakis did follow God, source. They followed
Yeah.
our God and our source. So
Well,
when
at one point, so did Lucifer. We see how that turned out. But all right.
I just want to let everybody know in Chicago, we are at index of 111 degrees.
Woo!
And so we're doing cold towels in the back of the neck.
That's interesting that this came up. Okay, Anunnaki are independent. They have their own race and species. Okay, beyond space and time, different density, but with the same goal of entrapping humans. So
Yeah, they entrapped humans not for weapon or war, but to collect gold for the planet.
Yeah,
Enslavement. Yes.
Enslavement. Yep.
Well, Earth is actually a petri dish of many
Oh,
experiments.
yes. Absolutely. Enslavement. Oh, okay. Well, that's even more. So, yes, this was about enslaving from the Anunnaki. Yes, absolutely. But it's also to take our light or enlightenment away. Because if we knew how to be enlightened, we wouldn't have got into the mess. But they weren't successful completely because of our free will in general and our emotions.
So my question would be, I believe Enlil was the one who created humans also. So you have God sources, Adam and Eve humans. You have Enlil, and I believe, wasn't it Isis who said she also created humans?
Yeah, there's actually
That's where
hieroglyphs.
Everybody wants to get in on the action.
Yeah,
humans.
yeah, that there's actual hieroglyphs or
I'm sorry.
documentation that Isis created Adam, her own version of Adam. There's lots of people taking credit for it. So all I know is that we have
All I
one
know is I
creator.
was here, and then I was gone.
Where'd you come from, Dennis? You
I
know?
have no idea. From the cloud.
Dennis is from Hee Haw. He was here and then he was
Hee
gone.
hee hee haw.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but to me, all these humans who became enslaved, how did they create all these humans in that time?
Yeah.
And did we have all the same DNA, or is it maybe
Or
that's
did we get transported here from other planets?
Yeah, we've heard that one too.
but maybe that is the reason why some of us have angel fractals DNA and some of us don't.
Or even blood types too.
So
A
which
negative, A
which
positive,
question
O
am I
negative.
asking? Are we working on DNA?
I don't
Are
know.
we working?
Were we asking a question?
It turned into 20 questions, and I'm like, which one are we doing?
I don't know. I just stepped in. I got a repairman that's next door, so
Oh,
No, I
walking in
I
and
didn't know
out.
we were asking a question. Hold on, let me see. You're gonna have to rewind it because
I don't remember either.
Where
It
was I?
snowballed into this other comment. I'm like, what? What were you asking
See
again?
what happens when I'm not here?
was it
It all goes to crap. Okay. All right.
well, it's not good to have seniors on the panel. We forget.
Well, we could ask, is it true that multiple species or sources are claiming the rights of creation? Because Isis says she did it. Well, not all of creation, but mankind, humans.
Yeah.
We can just ask if there's multiple sources that lay claim to it.
Let me see if I can rewind YouTube. We're gonna play sports and we're gonna say, let's play the rewind and see what we were asking. If I can.
Okay. Makes sense. Okay. So there are multiple sources that claim it, but that thought process comes from this guy. Well, if everyone's claiming that they created Adam, how is that possible unless there's
very
multiple
important question.
atoms? Are there multiple of you, Dennis?
Obviously, in every dimension.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In each timeline,
Okay,
well,
so different dimension. I was just talking about Gaia.
yeah, but how many times was Gaia recycled?
True.
Was Dennis Adam 2.0 or 3.0? We don't know.
So multiples.
So I could have been Eve.
There are multiples because I pulled the 10 of cups. So multiple dimensions and densities. Absolutely.
Yep.
But this is covered up by deep state.
Yeah.
The swords. Yeah, we're not getting it all because that's like the church. So
They want to keep you in fear and keep you blinded.
yeah.
All right, I'm going to get somebody very excited on the live chat.
Oh my!
I believe that breaking the Akashic records of the whale will explain all those multiple creations of man, since
Okay.
The whale have the Akashic records?
of
Mhm.
everything. Yes.
Do I have to be Jonah too?
The
Just to
blue
get to
whale.
them?
You're gonna go in there.
Is that where the library is?
That's the
We're gonna-
Library of Alexandria.
Oh,
we're gonna-
okay.
We're gonna pick Dennis up by the seat of his pants and say, "Open wide, whale.
Woo,
Throw him in.
Wedgie.
Go in there."
Woo, wedgie.
Well, I
Alright.
think that's the way when truth comes out, it's going to be through the whale's Akashic records, and it is only basically the humpback whale that carries the Akashic records.
Yep.
That's why I asked you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It's all hidden behind the veil, but it will be released. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you imagine how much of a download of information we're gonna get?
Or are we getting already a little at a time? Drip, drip, drip.
True. Well, that's what we do these things for. Even, we just ask, is this right? Is this right? And we just ask spirit. Little drippy drops.
Yeah. Gaia number 1, Gaia number 2. We're gonna probably get that truth come out.
Mm-hmm. Can you imagine when all the new books are finally released with all the real information? There's going to be dead silence in the community. We're just all reading. And then all of a sudden we'll get together and go, did you read this?
I just hope they have pictures. That's all I want.
Picture books. Picture
Yes.
books. Yep.
All
Absolutely.
G-rated.
The Bible is not G-rated, right?
It
Far
is
from
not.
it.
I'm sorry, Jen. What?
I said far from G-rated. Here's another picture. I thought it was pretty. Archangel Gabriel.
Oh,
That's how.
Pleiadian.
Yeah, it's what I said. I said he looks Pleiadian.
Yeah, right?
I wonder if he's in charge of the Pleiadians.
Ooh, I can.
Yeah. Now, of course, this is just an artist's interpretation of what Gabriel would look
Right.
like, but it's still an interesting question.
If the stars are the angels,
Yeah.
is it
Yes.
stars are actually just archangels, or are they all the angels?
I get a yes.
Yes,
I get
what?
a yes. He is in charge of the Palladians.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Can you check that, Dennis?
I could.
Or they
You asked me nicely.
they answer to him.
Okay. Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. That's Gabriel in control of all of them. That's the 4 of Pentacles. He holds on to them and they listen and follow him. Absolutely.
It's beautiful. That's where the blue eyes. Yep.
That's gorgeous.
And the humans here on Earth answer to Michael.
Yep.
Interesting.
Okay, now I'm going to ask the question if the stars are angels.
You might want to go through the chat and star the questions that are in there.
Well, we get to
have
it until for Friday.
Well, yeah, if we star them now. And
If I can star them, it'll hold it. Yeah. All right.
Because I know DHP has some.
Okay.
When doesn't DHP have questions?
I love
And I'm sure
these
Russ has some too.
questions. I know.
Yeah, I get it. Yes, but from what I've known from before, believe it or not, each star carries the Akashic records for us also. So that's probably is the angels. What are the angels?
So are you saying the archangels are whales?
Not archangels. I'm saying celestial beings.
Yes, you're definitely onto something. Because the King of Swords, well, he's about justice and bringing balance, but it's a sword card. It can be written word or thoughts, anything like that. And then I pulled this, and that's a collective card. Is it the written word of the collective? But that would be Akashic records. Our records. Is that what it is?
All right. So off of that one, Jen,
Yeah.
are constellations the collective records?
Oh, like groups, constellations.
Yeah, groups.
Is Rocco in the green room?
Is he?
No.
Says he just got done with what he had to do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll wait on him. Yes. Yep. That's the enlightenment of the collective.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Well, it was
No,
Abraham.
Rocco is driving.
Yeah, Abraham was told. Yeah, it was Abraham and Sarah, or Abram and Sarai. Was told by the Creator that you will have children or generations as numerous as the stars. I wonder if that's a play on words. That, yeah, we would exist, but we are literally being recorded in the stars as well. If it represents us, it's just a play on words, just something that came to my head. Scary place to be.
Something else came to my head.
Oh,
it's been popping today.
It's been slamming off the walls.
And I don't have anything on my forehead, no. But falling stars, what is that? Is a falling star an end of an Akashic record? A shooting star, I mean.
Someone ascending or dying, or how would you word it?
Is a shooting star the end of an Akashic record? Because wasn't it just last week they had all these shooting stars?
Like what they call a meteor shower?
Yeah, well, you could say it actually looks like shooting stars. We didn't get to see it. They clouded up the clouds just so we couldn't see it.
I'm getting a yes.
Ending of
the end of an Akashic record.
Wow. Yep. The Creator makes that decision, and there's the death card.
Thank you. Well, I'll do the J thing, all in glory. Yep. I'm just
absolutely. No coinky dinks here. All right. I'm going to go up here and start starring these so I don't lose them. All right. All right, we're going to save all the really hard stuff for Rocco, right? He's the one that's been studying this a lot longer than we have.
How are you on time?
Rocco comes in, we'll all go out.
I'm fine. I'm going to wait for that old man to get in here and pick his brain.
Well, how long is his drive? Or does he drive like an old man?
If he's not going to make it, Rocco, if you can hear, if you're not going to make it, just let us know. We can always continue it. We can do it again Friday or wait till next Wednesday, whatever.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Or we can do it tomorrow.
Do it tomorrow.
I said we can do it tomorrow.
I have to look at my schedule. We can keep going for 24 hours, according to Dennis.
I know, right?
And you will like it.
I think that's the thing we have to pull up in the cards. Does Adam ever sleep?
Yes, he does. He has cat naps.
But if there's multiple atoms and different densities, they just keep going and going and going. And
we're like the Energizer Bunny.
There's a coffee pot with every single one of them.
Yes, indeed.
All right. Let's see. I'm trying to find them. I don't know if you guys capitalized them or not. They're hard to see if I don't, but that's okay. I'll take my time. Well, when we were talking about Revelation and the angels that are in there, Did we ever talk about negative? Are they good? Are they bad? They all take orders from the boss upstairs. So that's joining two topics together. But there are angels.
Yeah.
I'm laughing at the chat room. At some point, everyone was peeing in the woods today. I don't know what's going on. Uh-oh. It froze up. All right. We're
No,
still
it's
going.
should I? The energy is so high. I keep getting buffering here,
Yeah.
and
Well, it
I'm gonna
happens.
lower my. Should I
You're
lower
not
my
lowering your
energy?
frequency. No, not on this topic.
Come down.
Um,
Well, I think I'm up into the enlightenment section. Well, I mean,
yeah.
that's another topic we really want to talk about. How
Yeah.
are we increasing our frequency in order to hit enlightenment, in order to go through ascension?
Mm.
All right. Let's see if this is it. Archangel Uriel Tartarus. Can you even hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. To TARDIS? Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that name. Yeah.
And then Raphael over spirits of men, Soul Watcher, Angel of Healing. You got Ragel, Luminaries. I think are these the ones that were in Revelation? Saraquel,
Mm-hmm.
um, Sin over the spirits, Nephilim and evil. And then you got Gabriel over everything of good and bad, the messenger, and Ramiel
Mm-hmm.
over those who rise, hope. So, do they
Mm.
have more special archangels to come during Revelation?
Well, I mean, we're
Get you.
dealing with a lot. I mean, trying to figure out how to word that. Um, Now, one way, see, we don't know if we have all of Revelation. We have the doom and gloom version, but I would think there's going to be, in the book of Revelation, it talks about a multitude of heavenly hosts. So is that all the angels? Are they all just archangels?
Well, they have
One way I found to study for this was using my archangel cards
oh,
and
nice.
looking up, what do they stand for? What do they work for? So, and there are so many different categories because you've got angels that work with Gaia just for Mother Nature, and that's what they do. And
Mhm.
they take care of, like, some are over trees and some are over the animals, flora and fauna, both. So,
Currently over trees. I'm in the clouds.
all right. Yes, you are. All right. I'm still marking. I found one by DHP. Is it just one? Nope, I'm still scrolling.
And just a scrolling.
They also, from other things that I've studied, they have also special angels who come when people are in hospice, and
Mm-hmm.
they come to help extract the soul out of the body. So it's
Wow.
a individual job. Yeah, I've heard that there are two with giant wings, and they come when everybody's there to greet the farewell, and they do whoosh, and that's when the soul leaves
So
the
are
body.
they,
I heard pop.
Well,
is it
we
escorts
have
where they,
people who work escorts. Yes,
okay. Well, when I've
yeah,
had,
because they have.
go ahead, go
Mhm,
ahead.
go.
Go ahead. Go
When
ahead.
I had
No, Jen, go ahead.
three NDEs, and it was Yeshua the first time who came to get me. The second time it was just wings. And then the third time, it was Michael. It changed each time, but I was not meant. Now, the last final time that they had to come and Yeshua had to come with Michael because I refused to get back in my body. So,
They're sitting there going, "Get it,
well,
get it."
Yeshua, Yeshua is a master at reverse psychology, just saying.
I love this
And
story.
if you don't think that sweet darling of a man won't push you back into your body, he will. Bye-bye. Yeah. Like, fine. Yeah.
Instead of
Yeah.
boot in the butt.
Yeah. I've been told I should write at least a small memoir of those events because they're fascinating stories of what I saw. All right.
Now, is it true, and this kind of off the subject a little bit, but I've been watching a lot of NDEs, and they're all basically different. That as far as heaven and hell, they all say there is a heaven, but only some of them say there is a hell. Most of them say there is no hell.
Hell
So
is what
is it? So
is
is
my
it?
understanding.
Whatever it is that you believe is what is manifested.
It's kind of that way. Now, Yeshua took me to see what he called the pits of hell because he wanted me to explain it in a testimony. And I shook for 3 days and cried for 3 days because you talk about clinging to Yeshua like a wet cat.
Mm.
What he showed me is it's almost in your head, basically what you would consider your own worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And mine had to do with children getting harmed because I'm such a big advocate for
Oh
children.
yeah. Yeah.
It was an absolute nightmare. And I just cried and I was getting angry. And it was what hell was to me. But even worse, it was the lack of or the departure and separation from the love of the Creator is an absolute nightmare. Because that means you have no hope at all.
Right.
So to me, that was when I was shown that would be an eternal hell.
To be without the
Ironic. This has been sitting on my table, and now I can understand why.
Mhm.
This is a book. It's in Portuguese, but it's in an English translation.
Okay.
And I'll read it because it says "Life in the Spirit World."
Ooh.
And it talks about when this guy Chico Xavier, he's actually blind because of all his writings. He was being channeled by a person who has passed away and explained actually the hierarchy and also how your life is reviewed. You watch your life.
Oh yeah, I've done that.
Before you reincarnate again.
You say that's all written in Portuguese?
Well, it's the name is Nosso Lar, our world, but there is an American English translation.
Wow.
It's the author on this one is Andre Luiz, but they also have a movie on this. And what's amazing is it was a doctor from 1700s or 1800s who passed away on the operating table.
Wow.
And they considered him a suicide. And the doctor said,
What?
I didn't commit suicide. But they said, yes, you did. The idea for suicide was he overindulged in liquor and meat. When you damage your body with all of that stuff, I'm talking about abusing it. That also is considered a suicide because you're damaging your body.
So when it's not intentional, then
when it's not intentional, but he did not understand that. I mean, that part really got to me. Like, no, he didn't die of a suicide, but they had to explain. Also, abusing it with drugs or whatever is considered. You take care of your temple, I guess.
Yeah. Do you know the one time, all 3 times that I NDE, only one I had a life review, and it was done with the Creator, and I've only been with him on one trip. That was the longest trip that I was there, and I was considered like an infant to him. He had to condense himself down, pick me up like I was this big, and hold me. And that was the most. He still allows me to feel that it was euphoria, and I felt like I was going to explode because of the love and joy. And I just sat there, and his hands just patting me like a dad would do of reassurance, and then showed me like on these weird floating screens what my life was, good and bad. And you have to feel everything that you felt before, plus how you made someone else feel, both positive and negative. And here's the strange thing. He did not judge me. Yeshua did not judge me. I judged me. I was my own worst nightmare. And then
Yep.
it made you very apologetic, and that guilt gets released. And then the only thing the Father did was just hold me, loved me, and then said, okay, you got to go back. You still have work to do. And I'm like, I don't want to go back. Yeah. So I literally was acting like the 2-year-old that wants the box of Fruity Pebbles out of the cereal out. But I want that guy. I want to stay here. Yeah. All right. DHP, yeah, 3 NDAs.
Yeah, so it's how you perceive it.
The last one was very short-lived. I didn't even make it very far into heaven, and
What? You again?
Turn around. Nope. And I'm like, come on. And Michael was trying to escort me back.
I have a picture of Jen at the door. Do not let her in.
Warning. Hey, I'm the reason that heaven has security cameras at this point.
He's got a wall in there right next to the pearly gates that says "Not wanted now." And
but I had
number
a
one.
lot of health problems, and it just, but was healed by spirit, and now I'm not on any medications or anything. So there's a reason it happened.
Yep.
All right. So I found 2 questions. I got one. 17 had one. DHP had one. I don't know because they had a Q beside it. Those are the ones that stood out to me. Did you guys see any more than that?
I'd have to go back and look. Let's see.
So I will definitely.
I thought.
Okay, so Rocco's not going to make it. He's got traffic. He said he can do next show tomorrow or Friday. Okay, so he's not going to make it today. All right. That's all right. I just want to mark them because once I click off of this, I don't know that they'll show back up again, or at least not for a while.
Jay just wrote something, and no, I'm not going to talk about that. You're still driving. May the roads be safe with you, and you explain it.
I wonder if Joe's got his shoes on, or if he's driving barefoot too.
Maybe that would be a near-death experience for Jay.
Yeah, I just read it. I'm like, you want us to talk about that? No.
About what?
We will when you're on the show. How about that?
And out of the car.
Yeah. I don't. Let's not make it happen while you're driving.
Exactly. Manifest.
We're not manifesting.
Did you get DHP Junior's question? It doesn't have a Q or anything. It says 11:16 a.m. on mine, so that would be 12:16 for Nadia and 1:16 for you. Says we know Adam as a name.
11.
Could it also mean something more celestial?
Okay.
I always forget to look at the times. You're so smart, Dennis.
Hey, that's why I'm here.
Somebody's got to do the math around here.
Jay's not here to check time, so Dennis is doing it.
Yeah, I know, really. He's hoarding all the watches.
I'm doing digital.
No, not the digital.
Can you imagine Father Time with the digital? That would be fun. Could it also mean something more celestial, Adam, as a name?
Yep.
Yeah, I see it.
Dragonfly has one at 11:02. Isn't rams and sheep cloned together?
For Dolly, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did that years ago.
Well,
Well,
they've been trying.
yeah, they've been doing clones since like after or during World War II.
Probably even before that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Because I'm going to say Walt Disney, I believe they were cloning at that time.
Well, they're cloning now, that's for sure.
No, with Mr. Walt.
Yeah.
What was the rumor that went around for years that he just did cryogenics and they froze
Yeah,
his head or
yeah.
something? Yeah.
Froze his head
Yeah.
I'm
or
like, how's
froze his
that gonna
body.
work?
I don't know.
Just your head. Okay.
Well, I mean, you get a donated body and you put it on there, I guess. But they have places that do that. Like you pay, I think it was 40,000 or more just for freezing just your head. The body is more, cost more. But
I would. Did you
even
get Dragonfly at 10:50, which was
10,
150? What? Yeah, 150.
uh-oh, he's messing
Georgia.
up. He's messing up on the mathing.
No,
Is that the
I'm
one
looking.
she
I
saw
got a
Jay?
download when you said 3 days in Jesus.
Yep, I got that one.
Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah,
It
you
always
marked that one.
seems to me that sometimes I don't see them at all.
Yeah. Well, I would say that if we miss any, I would ask that those that have questions on here to
Yeah.
go ahead and write them down just in case we miss any.
Write them down, screenshot them, text it to me, whatever you want to do, or just
Yeah.
remember it for Friday or when the next show will be. So, yeah.
Meanwhile, we're back here for another 2 hours, so we're good.
I have this question.
I'll know.
Okay.
Most of those angels have eyes everywhere. What's the
Mhm.
purpose of the eyes everywhere? Is it to protect swords?
Why did your mother have eyes in the back of her head?
Well, that's what
We
I mean.
still do, Dennis.
We do. It's behind the clip.
Mm.
Well, I can't answer that if you're asking why.
I mean,
Well, they have angels or eyes on their wings. They have angels.
I can
that are
say
eyes on their-
that. I can ask that. Do all angels have that?
no, I think it's the higher ups.
Yeah, this category is Ophinum, the weirdest angels in the Bible.
Yeah.
And that
Okay.
is not a wraparound scarf. Those are that's a physical lion, eagle, and calf's head. Is that what we're
They called it a bison.
Oh, is it a bite? Okay.
They
And
called
then look
Or
at the
calf.
eyeballs. Yeah, a calf.
Okay, so now in that picture, what came up in my mind was, is that where we're going to hear the trumpets of the four winds?
Okay, I'm
Ooh.
getting only the seraphim and the cherubim are the ones that have the eyes all over.
Well, that also falls in the line of the four. It's a different category, but
Well,
the
it could be
four,
Ophanim too, I would assume, since they're the highest hierarchy closest.
yeah, the four
God.
living creatures. The four living creatures at the throne. I think they have eyes on them. All I don't know if you can. That just says creatures. I don't think they're angels.
Well, that's what I don't know if we can do that, but is that the four winds?
Yeah. Well, let's ask. Well, another thing, are those eyes just so they can see in all directions and perspectives, into different densities? Or
Oh.
is it, are they, each eye records something?
I'm getting that all four of those represent the four winds also.
Wow. Yeah, they all work together.
Yep.
Absolutely. They all line up and work together. Yeah, they balance each other out because that's the justice card. Yep. But these are not to be feared,
Oh no.
at least not for us. We're not
Well,
into the doom and
yeah,
gloom thing.
yeah. But fear can be two different things:
Mm.
being scared or being in awe. But I don't
Yeah.
think either
Or
one
highly
applies to this.
respectful. Highly respectful. I
Right.
like when they say fear your Lord, it's because I highly respect him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in awe of him.
Fear. Yeah. Not
Right.
fear, but yeah.
Okay, I'm going to bring this picture up. I thought this one was fascinating to look at, someone's depiction of this. Maybe they've seen them and that's how they came up with it, or it's just the creativity of an artist.
Wheel within a wheel.
Yeah. They said the wheel when it lifts when the throne lifts up, they lift up.
Hmm.
Yeah. Opening.
Wow. Rocco wrote, to see which is hidden, their eyes become your eyes. So they have the ability to see through what we see. And is that our human eyes or our third eye?
That's a good question.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, the ones with the eyeballs, I never understood it, but I never understood why the creator came up with the platypus either. So I don't really ask a whole lot of questions. So, all right.
Everything and every person has a purpose.
Yeah.
We don't always understand.
Well, and all we know at this point is multitudes of them in every category. So, sorry, Rocco. Just drive. Don't worry about it. You catch the replay. All right, let me take this off the screen. We'll get ready to wrap up, and because I'm going to do all the oracles. And do you want to continue this Friday?
Yes,
If
I
you
do.
want to. Now, I know Nadia does certain things on Fridays with her
Well,
schedule, but
Okay.
she needs to stop at the karaoke on Friday nights. Do
I'm.
those
You know
nah,
on
what?
Sunday.
I think I'm going to sing Angel Eyes on Friday.
Angel eyes.
there you go. Oh, gosh.
Earth angel, earth angel.
Oh, I could do that.
There'll be an angel theme.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you can start singing
You can
somebody.
stay
Good
home and you
devil
can
in
stay home and
disguise.
bake an angel cake if you like.
There you go.
I like devil's food.
Ooh, kinky.
We sing that song, Somebody's Watching You.
Wow. I got a plethora of
Michael
nice
Jackson did the
songs.
backup on it. But
All right. I think that was good enough for just a couple days of studying.
for
I
a
think.
couple of days, yeah, it was kind of like I have to look for more references because Enoch was huge, but picking them apart, it really just walked into a lot of controversy and a lot of personal opinions.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
found.
mind. Hi, Sean. Welcome, honey. I don't mind personal testimony because I mean,
Right.
that's great. Just like I have my own and how I see wings, but that's my personal visual of them. Somebody else may see something
It's
different.
always good to see other people's perspective and
Exactly.
to study each one of them and see what resonates with you and what doesn't.
Right. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Well, we'll take a little more time and we'll spend the next couple of days. We'll try to poke around, and of course, we're still anxious to pick Rocco's brain, and because he's been looking into this for a while, so he'll be able to enlighten us with his wisdom.
Yeah, well, Rocco needs to contact me about the Rosh Hashanah. I got some info.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right, guys. Thank you to everyone in the chat room. It was a good show. Like I said, if I got a couple questions, start, and if I didn't, just remember we'll go over on Friday. We'll answer your questions as well as continue asking ours as well, and see where we go. Dennis,
All right.
Nutty, thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
We
And
do
I'm
it.
going to bow out.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
a fun show.
It was.
Yep, loved it.
enough to rack our brains and make us think.
There we go.
Bye,
So,
y'all.
all right. Bye, guys. Love you.
Be in the live chat. Bye.
All right. Okay. So let's do your oracle cards and then I'll let you go. It was a very, very good show. I think Nadia's having a hard time disconnecting. It's okay. I often wondered if the heat affects the connection lines too. But if you'd like to stick around for the oracles, that's what we're going to do. A lot of you bow out. That's totally fine. It's totally up to you. So we're going to do what we always do and start with, speaking of angels, our angels of abundance. So that comes first. Nadia's just, am I going to have to kick her out of here? Yes, I will. All right. Okay. This one, Angel of Abundance, is unlimited ideas. All right. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is take divinely guided action to allow these ideas to come to fruition. Let the divine help you manifest abundant of anything you think is, that could be health, wealth, love, whatever you think that is. All right. Let's talk about our archangel. Angels. Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel. You know I'm going to butcher it. All right. Handsome feller. Handsome. Act with wisdom. Use information for the highest good. Oh, well, we're trying, especially studying the angels. All right. I think he's holding a beautiful lotus flower as well, which can be a representation of wisdom information. Yep, this is the card of wisdom. Wisdom means gathering available information and applying it for the highest good. You're being guided to use yours carefully today in a situation or a relationship or to help others. Call on Archangel Jophiel, and he will help you raise your frequency so you can act or advise from a wise perspective. We're going to get smart, and he's going to help us. All right. Sacred Forest Oracle today. Oh, it's Dennis. Wizard of the Woods. Focus. Kind of looks like a Merlin, doesn't he? Spirit of the Wizard of the Woods says, put your attention on what's worthwhile, loving, and beautiful. That's what will manifest in your life. What you focus on is what you create. This is the time to choose just one thing to focus on rather than a slew of things and watch miracles abound. Sometimes we just need to zone in on one topic and do not get overwhelmed by the multiples, okay? Because it will wear you out and discourage you. Sometimes it's just baby steps, all right? And we do it with love. All right. The White Light Oracle. This is the new deck that we brought in that I've been studying. Today we have the Tantra of 639 Hertz, all right? It's kind of the intertwining of the divine masculine and feminine, and this is what it says. Be open to that which seems unfamiliar or different. You will experience a breakthrough as you embrace an unusual approach. You're on a soul path of accelerated spiritual growth, which is swifter but not always easier. You do not have to contrive your own happiness, but you can dip into the bliss with your body to lighten your mental state and remind yourself everything is working out beautifully. Frequency high, and know that no worries. I know easier said than done, but we gotta think positively here. Your chakra oracles today. The first one we got was complacency. All right, life force energy must be taken seriously. Are you standing tall in your own dreams or trying to build on someone else's? Sadness and an inability to disassociate from a lost dream can show up here. It is time to walk away from anything that does not deeply resonate with you. Release it and be free. There we go. Don't hold on to it if it's not serving you any purpose. All right, the next one. It's a beautiful card. Balance. We need to find balance. All right. This card may indicate a reluctance to change. You may be hesitating because of the past, but that doesn't mean you should be hasty. Weigh all sides before moving forward. This can mean the start of a relationship and proceed slowly. Okay, well, that's pretty self-explanatory. The last one that you got today is forgiveness. Gotta forgive, especially yourself for things. Amethyst protects us from toxic situations. This card indicates healing and allowing yourself to return to the natural state of peace once again. Remember, we never forgive others. We only forgive ourselves for loving others who betrayed us. This is a time of personal evolution. Yeah, we're growing every day spiritually as we come into our higher ascension. We're learning. Forgive yourself for whatever it is. All right. Don't hold a grudge against yourself either. Okay. All right, guys, that's it. I will see you on Friday. Yep, 7 p.m. Yeah, we'll bring the roundtable back in, and Rocco can join us. He had other prior obligations. Jen can't talk. Joe Biden coming out. And that's okay. You do you, boo. All right. I will see you Friday night, 7 p.m. We'll talk a little bit about this, see how much further we can get, and pick Rocco's brain. Thank you for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if I don't see you, I'll see you Friday. All right. Love and lights and when you need it. And blessings. And stay cool. It is a scorcher out there. Take care of yourself. We don't need anybody getting heat stroke, okay? All right. I love y'all. I love you. It was great. I love everybody in the chat. Have a very, very blessed day. All right. Bye-bye, guys.